Well, folks, welcome back to another Dungeons and Dragons game. Hopefully, you guys had watched our video a couple weeks ago where we talked about our Monday campaign as unfortunately coming to a close just because I found it just nearly impossible to manage and control everything in the 4th edition Dungeons and Dragons. But fortunately for me and for all of you out there that are following along, the players have decided to go ahead and continue as a group and pick everything up at a new campaign in 5th edition. So we've been kind of making the switch over from 4th edition to 5th edition. And tonight will be our first forte for this group into 5th edition and understanding the new campaign and what's going on. So we got a lot of stuff to cover tonight. But everyone, I appreciate everyone coming back and trying out 5th edition. And so what we're going to do now is kind of just get a view of what's going on in our current situation, talk about the characters we're going to be playing. So if Doroga would like to kind of introduce his character, that would be great.
Okay, Daroga, he's a half elf, huge guy, well over 6 foot, broad shoulders, just shredded. Uh, Wearing basically just traveler's clothes, great sword and some javelins, backpack. Looks like just a, you know, big brooding barbarian, basically.
All right. So this is Doroga for everyone. When we talk about Doroga, this is his token right here. Great. All right. Well, can't wait to see what this barbarian does. We haven't. See, this is will be my third 5th edition game, and we have not had a barbarian yet. So it'll be exciting to see what the barbarian can do. All right, Canarelli. Is that how you say that name?
Kamali.
Kamali. Sorry, Kamali. Why don't you introduce your character?
Kamali is a Dwarven cleric. He's about 100 years old, and comparatively to the rest of the group, he looks a lot more polished. And he just happened upon this for personal reasons.
Great, great, excellent. And what kind of weapons does he use?
He primarily uses a mason shield, but he also has a crossbow.
All right, excellent. Good to know. So we'll get to learn more about your characters. As for you at home, I kind of told the players not to give us too much information about their characters because we want to learn and experiment and see and then watch the characters grow throughout this campaign and and find out more about them as things progress. So Oswald,
Hey, hey.
hey, hey,
Oswald is a very dapper dwarf. A bit more carefree than most dwarfs. Young for dwarf, and he is a rogue and enjoys using a short bow.
excellent. So we have Kamali here, who's a dwarf, and we also have Oswald, and I'm kind of just showing you here on the screen the different tokens so that we don't get confused, but they both are dwarves. And and then we last but not least, Dathir.
I am another half elf, but I am about as far on the opposite side of the spectrum from Daroga as I can be. Clean, well cut, always a little flashy. Small in stature as he is big in attitude. Um,
Excellent. So I already see the battle lines being drawn right now. We got two dwarves, we got two half elves. Unfortunately, we do have one of the players who's having a little bit of issues with his internet connection right now. Hopefully, he'll be able to join us after a bit. But his character, to break up the group, he is a dragonborn paladin by the name of Rictor. Looks like he uses light hammers and a longsword and a breath weapon of lightning. So that should be interesting to see how that all plays out. So as I mentioned, we are continuing with the same players. We are going to be starting a new campaign, a 5th edition campaign, but because the players put so much time into the 4th edition campaign, I didn't want to start them over again. So we're picking things up with them being a fifth level, a third level character in a new location here. This is still the Forgotten Realms edition, and we are doing since they haven't really fleshed out the 5th edition Forgotten Realms history at this point, we're going to be still using the 4th edition Forgotten Realms history, backlore, and storyline, and all that until it's such time that they start releasing some campaign books for the Forgotten Realms here in 5th edition. So these characters have been located in the Dale Lands and have been doing some minor jobs here and there, gaining some experience, gaining a few gold pieces here to buy better weapons and such, and kind of traveling around inside the Dale Lands. For those of you who aren't familiar with the Dale Lands, they're very kind of a peaceful farm, very nice areas, lots of greenery, clean waters and springs and lakes and forests and all that. And it's a very nice part of Forgotten Realms of Faerun, and it's very pleasant. And yeah, so that's what they've been doing, kind of just catching their wind, trying to catch their stride. Our party is going to be starting here in Shadowdale, the town of Shadowdale, as we are now able to actually get in and start the campaign. So basically, I will be sending you guys a new map. This one might actually take a little while to send over because I think it is kind of big in size. That's not what I want. Wonder, can I just drag tokens over from here? Oh, I can I? That's cool. Excellent. So I don't need to redrag tokens down. That's a good thing. And let me know when you guys get that map here. Like I said, it might take a few minutes. It's kind of a pretty it's a pretty map, so it has lots of details in it. So basically, just to give you a heads up about what has happened, just last month or so, you've taken a couple odd jobs here and there. About a week ago, you got a job there to escort some caravans from one of the towns over into Shadowdale, and you've been doing that. You had a little encounter along the way. Some Knoll bandits kind of tried to raid the camp at night. You and some of the other guards were able to fight them off and kind of investigate what's going on there, and end up making the took the caravan all the way into Shadowdale there. And the last week or so, actually about the last three days or so, has been kind of dreary. The clouds, a lot of cloud cover. It's rained kind of here and there for the last 3 days. If it's not raining, it's just been really cloudy. Even at night, it's been really cloudy. Just a lot of just kind of sleeping weather, so you can kind of resting and recuperating and stuff. And that's kind of the basics of what has happened there in the background there. Did everybody get the map yet?
Still loading here.
I'm still waiting.
Oh.
Yep, still waiting.
I shared it twice, but share it again just to make sure. Sometimes, it doesn't send it on the first try.
It
First
says
encounter,
loading,
everyone
so.
will be blind.
So, you guys kind of know one another. You've kind of had a few jobs together, and you kind of spent the last week or so traveling together and learning about one another and kind of just conversing and and kind of hanging out together. And so when you get to Shadowdale, you kind of decide to get yourself one of the rooms at the inn and just kind of hang out together and see where things might lead, and find out what's going on. And as the map is loading, basically another cloudy day has arrived, and you finally decide, well, I spent a couple days here just sleeping and relaxing in the inn. I need some supplies. I need to get some supplies for just to recoup some of the supplies you've lost. Some food, rope, just traveling supplies. Get some extra sacks. You got a few coins. You might look around and see what's going on, and you might find something down at the market. So you guys head down to the market, and it's kind of midday, and you're down at the market. You buy some lunch, and you kind of have some lunch down there, and kind of hanging out, watching all the locals, and just seeing what's going on. And it starts to lightly sprinkle again, and some people run for cover, and kind of just take cover under the tents and some of the buildings there. And after about another 15-20 minutes, it stops raining, and so you're checking out some of the local merchants and stuff. And somebody rolled 206 damage. That's a new all-time record.
So who carries 20 d20s?
Wow.
The map stopped loading, but I don't have anything.
Mine still says loading, but I don't have anything.
There's an
It says loading, but nothing.
All right. Let me see this. Let me look at my folder here and see how big this map is. I knew it was going to be a while because, like I said, it's a really detailed, nice-looking map. I like to, supply you guys with some, some good quality stuff, so you guys can immerse yourself in what's going on and feel like you're actually there, as opposed to having just random maps being drawn for you. Where is this map? Just trying to see. Here it is. It is 4.15 megabytes. That's pretty big.
Oh, yeah. That's gonna take a little while in Fantasy Grounds to get the four of us.
Yeah, that's all right. It's just there for show, so you can kind of see what's going on. So as you're and I'll just keep talking as it loads. As you're kind of walking around throughout the market, and you're checking out the different things people got for sale, and trying to buy a few of the items you might need, an extra dagger here, or new pair of boots, some clean boots and stuff. And as you're doing this, lots of locals around, talking, giggling, laughing, having a good, just a normal everyday day. As you guys are kind of doing this, you're being approached by a human lady, very nice looking human lady. She's got some braided hair. She's kind of got a cloak on, kind of, covering herself up over the from the rain, and she's kind of flanked by two other males, humans. One's obviously a priest. He's got priestly robes on, and another fella just behind her standing there. He's got chainmail armor and a shield and a hammer and stuff. And you can see kind of holding her cloak together is a big dog. And no, what's holding her cloak together is a big orange sun, and you recognize it as a holy symbol for yes, that there, Ementur. Thank you. Couldn't remember the name of it. And she kind of walks up to Dathir, and she introduces herself. She says, "Excuse me, sir. My name is Dirabusha. I am a priestess of the Temple of Amantur, And these are my friends, Priest Jeffrey and Covenant Marcus. Do you have a minute to speak?
Absolutely. What can I do for you?
Well, if you don't mind, could we sit down under the tent? I have a story to tell you, and I think maybe you could help me.
Anything for a beautiful lady.
Great, great. So she kind of takes you over to one of the tents that there's not many people, and it's kind of a little eating area. And you guys sit down on the benches and kind of talk. I'm assuming the rest of you go with them.
If we're
Yes.
invited, sure.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, of course.
Um,
Take my wingman.
so yeah, exactly. So she says, have you had something to eat? Can I buy you lunch? I had heard from Merchant Thalen, who happened to be the guy that you guys were working with last week, using the caravan, who's a good friend of the church, that you had helped him. And I'm hoping you can help me as well. I kind of have a little situation going on, and I need some brave adventurers to see if they can help me out. It's kind of a little spooky. I don't really know how to talk about it, but I guess the best way is just talk about it. She's kind of she's kind of upset about really talking about it. She says, my brother, he's part of the watch here in Shadowdale, and recently recently the watch was sent out on a mission, and he was part of this mission, and they were asked to go talk to Dabuga, who is and when she says the name, one of the other priests says the witch. She's kind of waves her hand like quiet. She's not a witch. She uses the dark arts to make things for some of the people here in town. Well, my brother came and told me that they were asked to go up to see her, and I knew something just didn't sound right, and he's been gone for like 4 days now, and ever since he departed, the skies, we've been praying. We've been praying for his safe return, and he was very scared. The night before he left, he came to me and told me that he had a very bad dream about demons, and he said they were very lifelike. And she's kind of staring at you guys like, are you believing what I'm having to say here or not? So, what's your general tone? What's your general views, guys? What is your...
How attractive is this woman?
Very attractive. If you had the map, you could see.
I'm very, very supporting.
Okay. She says, before he left, the night before he left, he came to me and said he had this very vivid dream. It's almost like it really happened. And he was out there, and these demons showed up and started attacking him. And then they just took his soul right out of his chest. And he was laying there on the ground, looking up at the demon who's holding his soul, and begging for it to come back. And he woke up, and he came right to my room and woke me up in the middle of the night to tell me this. He was very afraid to leave to go on this mission, thinking that this is part of the mission. And I was telling him that it was probably just a dream, that because he was a little anxious going on this mission. He's very young. He's only 20 years old. And I tried to calm him down and stuff. So once he left the next day, I started praying to my God. And for those of you who don't know Amantur, what do we know about Amantur, for those of you who know?
It's been a while.
God of Light, son, isn't he?
Yes, he's the god of the
Sun god, I
sun.
think.
Yes, absolutely. He's the god of sun.
Yeah, there you go.
The god of
Good god. Yeah.
yep, good, very lawful good, greater god, one of the main gods here in Faerun, and son of the god of the sun, and also keeping of the calendar. So a lot of farmers and merchants, people that nomads, people that use the sun to their advantage, kind of worship him. And she said the morning he left, ever since then, it's been nothing but dark skies and rain. It's been dark skies and rain. So we've been praying and praying for his safe return, and it's been 4 or 5 days now, and he I haven't heard back from him, and they haven't come back into town or anything. And I'm wondering if you would go investigate and see if everything's okay with him. And the church, we've gathered some money together, and we're willing to pay you for your services.
I can't speak for my friends, but I would be happy to assist.
Yeah, absolutely. Where's the money?
I'm sorry, you kind of broke up there.
I said absolutely. Where's the money?
She says, I'm willing to give you 50 gold pieces each now, and if you can bring my brother back, hopefully alive, praying alive, another 100 gold pieces each, if that's adequate for you.
That sounds nice. Plus lunch. You said you got lunch, right?
Absolutely, I'm offering to purchase a nice meal for you to before you head out on the road. I would be honored to do that for you fine gentlemen. And
Droga smiles at Oswald there.
uh, you fine gentlemen, and she kind of looks at the Dragonborn and goes, I don't mean to offend, but are you gentlemen, or what do you call you? So, unfortunately, the Dragonborn player isn't here to answer, but we'll just assume that he says gentleman. So, and she says she kind of tells you. If we go back to the main map here, I'll bring up the main map. I don't know if you guys got the other map yet or not.
Nope.
No.
Still loading.
I'll try and share it one more time
It'll
just in
get-
case.
Yeah, still loading.
It'll get there.
Let's see. We're looking for this one. There we go. So basically, what she tells you is, my brother told me that his mission was to follow the road to the north, and as it gets up to the river, they follow the river to the west, and as the river comes up to the mountains, they will meet. You will see where the ladies' encampment is there, and they were told to go there, and he wouldn't tell me, or maybe he didn't even know, but they were told to go there for some reason. So if you can go there and talk with her, and of course, well, the covenant there, Marcus, he says, I don't mean to sound disrespectful to the lady here, but I wouldn't put it past that witch that she probably passed some spell on them and turned them all into some kind of a creature that she's using to brew up some kind of a hocus pocus magical creation, some kind of golem or something. She's like, "Oh, hush now. That's not. Don't put more fears into them, as I'm sure I did a bad enough job of doing that myself."
The Moonsea has been rumored to be a pretty dangerous place after the plague.
I'm sure we can handle whatever we might encounter out there.
Nothing scares Droga.
Yes, I
Nothing.
hear you. The
Droga kill.
merchants talk very highly of your skills and your dedication to your job, and that's why once he had heard that I was looking for people, he recommended you and told me where to track you down here. So and she kind of has a little coin purse she hands each of you and says, here's for the accepting of the offering to help me. Um, and she kind of tells you a little bit about her brother. You know, brown hair, kind of longish, about 20 years old. Nothing really out of the ordinary about him. Just a normal, average-looking guy. Um,
Human?
yes, human.
Mm.
So she says, yes, looks like me. But, obviously with the male, as a male. So. And
All
you
right.
guys had kind of adventured around here enough, in this area that you kind of know that along most of the roads, every once in a while, there's different buildings that are there. I wouldn't call them towns or villages, not even villages. They're just 3 or 4 buildings that are popped up that people can stop at along the way and stuff. And normally, normal situations, it's pretty safe to travel along the roads. There's normally lots of travelers going to and fro on the roads and stuff. It's mostly when you get out off the roads into the wilderness is when you actually you encounter more things than not. That's why you were kind of surprised to be attacked on the road with the merchants last week. So.
Mhm. Okay, well, is there anything else we should know before we depart here?
If anyone can think of anything, I can surely ask you or answer it. If there's anything I can do to help you, or all I know is he told me they were going to go along the road to the north, and when the road bends, it meets the river, and then they follow the river back to the west, and the river basically flows out of the mountains. And if you follow the river up towards the mountains, he said that's where their location. That's when that's where she lives.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right then.
Does anybody
shall we
have
be
any
about it?
questions? Anything at all about anything? Now's the time to ask. It's not.
There's been you have no information of what his mission was or why he was asked to go see him.
Well, she kind of looks around a little bit, and she kind of says, "It's my understanding that she, deals in some of the dark arts a little bit, and she can make things that other people can't. And sometimes some of the locals here use her services to make things that they need. And I'm not sure what that means, but that was kind of the hint that he gave to me is that yeah, sometimes it might not be above board, so they use somebody that nobody knows about to kind of keep things hidden in the background. Kind of is the way she makes it sound like.
Okay.
No other questions?
Do you know of anyone else who recently
Well-
wanted to get one of these types of items and actually got it successfully?
I have no idea. I'm just giving you
Okay.
the information that my brother had kind of thought about. And I think some of this is gossip. How things get spread around, and of course, Marcus is like, yeah, right, sure, we'll see about that. And she's like, oh, quiet down, Marcus. Now, you're just scaring these fine gentlemen. We don't want them to think things are wrong. So if you could just find the lady and find out if he had made it up there, you might even, I don't know, you could stop along some of the the village, some of the I keep calling them villages, but they're not villages. I don't know what we're gonna call them, outposts or whatever. But they're 4 or
Like
5
roadside
buildings.
inns,
Yeah, just 4 or 5 buildings that are kind of sprung up. They're along the
a
road.
tavern, an inn, and 2 farms.
Yeah, so basically something like that. You can ask along the
Is
road
there a proper blacksmith or anything around?
in
Just curious.
town.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a blacksmith in town. In Shadowdale,
well-
you're talking about?
Droga would be. Yeah, I was gonna make a suggestion that we get our weapons silvered. I was reading about that. For Droga would know about undead as of because of where he's from.
Okay.
So he'd make that suggestion if it's possible.
What's the time frame on that?
Oh, I don't know how long. I don't know. We'd have to look it up real quick. I forget.
Okay.
I don't have my handbook with me here. I can get it if you don't have one. It's just in the weapons.
Yeah, I'm looking at the.
Sorry, it's just something I thought of. Being level 3, it'd be something I'd spend my money on before heading out.
Yeah, you guys actually.
Yeah, if we don't
we
have set
didn't
any of
talk
that level
about
here.
this. And what we might
Yeah.
do, folks, is I might just go ahead and put a cut in this because we've got a few things to work out here in between episodes. But we'll be back. So thanks so much for watching.